Well, yes, I have some fire near misses, yeah, and one of them, it's kind of my fault, but well, I remember we had this fire jump. It was very early in the season, and there was already a cabin burned down that was right by this lake, and really cold, and we got the fire out, and then everybody saying, okay, that thing's history. It's so cold, it's so wet. So we spend the night, and of course, Alan Biller, he's an Alaskan Smokejumper. He was the fire boss, and so I got up, and we're making breakfast there around the fire, and I walked down and take a look at the fire, and I kicked some of these tussocks, and there's sparks all in it, and it was real foggy and real wet. Anybody who didn't know anything about real fire would say, this thing's dead. It's dead out. But if you went and kicked it, and I just said, this is a killer fire. This is a deadly fire. This is what it's shaping up to be. And because what we could tell was that there's an inversion that's holding all the smoke and all the fog and all that. So if that breaks off and clears off and the winds come up, that thing's gone. So I go back and I say, hey, Alan, they're going to want to get the jumpers back to Fairbanks. You better tell them, go ahead and get this thing manned up, because this is a really bad fire. And then Tony Pastor, another really very well experienced firefighter, he went down and comes back and says, yeah, I see what Troop's talking about. It's really a lot of fire, a lot of sparks in there. So anyway, we come back, and first thing you know, the Fairbanks calls us. Yeah, we're going to send in some helicopters, and we're going to send in some replacements. We're going to take the crew, all the jumpers out. We're going to put them in buses on the road, right, going to Live and Good. So Alan makes his case. He says, well, you know what? This is a different situation. Why don't we just bring in the extra people to keep the jumpers on the fire? Because I don't feel very comfortable with it. And that dispatchers, they make the decision hundreds of miles away in an office, say, what, you want us to waste helicopter time and have them fly empty back after they drop the ground people off, and then resend so they're making their case. They don't want to listen to Alan, what the fire boss is actually saying. So that's what happens. They start taking all the jumpers off. So we are just about all the jumpers and all their gear are on these buses. It's a yellow bus. And some of us look out the window and see this atomic bomb floating up into the horizon. And sure enough, the people on the fire says, bring those jumpers back, bring those jumpers back. So I'm on the first helicopter load back, and I see the fire, but I also know about this ATV trail that's really wet. And I said, well, drop us all up there, and we'll just make a fire line and burn out from that trail, and we'll be able to receive this huge fire. And so we did that. And then all of a sudden, this gigantic fireball, it sounded like 10 or 12 freight trains coming at us, and we looked and we saw this big ball coming right at us. And of course, we were in thick black spruce. There was absolutely nothing to do except just run for our lives. And just as that thing's going to roll over us, it turns 90 degrees. There's a wind shear, and it goes the other way. Well, Jack Firestone, he had a radio, and he was absolutely considered himself absolutely just lucky to be alive on this thing. And he gets on, and Rob Collins is up flying air attack. He starts yelling at Rob to get over where he is right now. And so Rob was saying, okay, Jack, settle down now. Yeah, everything's going to be all right. Settle down. And, of course, Jack is furious. He wants to know where that damn fireball is. And so Rob comes over and says, Jack, that thing is 6 miles from you. And we all look at each other, 6 miles? And that's fire behavior that came out of really nowhere. I mean, it was true enough, the thing was rolling when we went, but no one could have predicted this incredible wind that came out of nowhere, and endangered us. I mean, and of course, you know what they would have said if we had all been killed. They would have said, those were the most experienced smoke jumpers in the world. What? They should have known better. They shouldn't have done that. But see, they don't understand what happened.